Hello everyone, I hope your day is going wonderfully well. Last night on TikTok, I wanted to pass this along. I ran across somebody and she said that her little affirmation for herself every day is, things are always working out for me. If you just keep that thought rolling in your mind, maybe put it on a post-it note around your house, it can snap you back into that positive mindset. I love that. All right, we're gonna talk about eyeshadow palettes today, specifically from Catrice. Now, I mean, Catrice is slaying it. They are doing amazing things in their makeup line. They have some great coverage products, some beautiful blushes. But do you guys remember when I did like a full face of Catrice products? I want to say it was maybe late summer, early fall, and I was using this Basic Bae eyeshadow palette. Now, first off, I don't love the word Bae. Like, why? I don't get it. So I'm going to call this Basic. But I got this one and I was really stunned by the quality in here. Now you look at it and it is a very basic palette, right? The color scheme is very neutral, not necessarily too warm or too cool. I think it does veer warm in a few areas, but overall, you know, it's a really just standard everyday palette. And what I love about it is that it's got the shimmer, it's got the matte, it's got the balance of light to dark, but nothing is a screwball, like hard to work with texture. You know what I'm saying? They didn't feel like they had to just pop something in there for variety's sake that they knew was going to be a pain to use. It's a great, like, everyday, any circumstance, you just want that basic look. It is really a terrific palette with outstanding textures, easily blendable pigmented mattes, smooth shimmers that go on exactly like you would hope they would. I mean, I love everything about this palette. So I got this and then maybe a month or so passed and I thought, let's try another one of these little palettes. So I got the Self-Made Bae palette. Self-Made is more of a berry color scheme, or a plum, I would say. I think everything in the bottom row, it doesn't really like do itself justice just looking at it in the pan, but those shades, these three right here, have a gorgeous shimmer and they're all kind of different takes on plum. But we have some pink, some burgundy, a couple of different tones of highlight there, a nice shade to start things out in the crease. This color up here actually just has a smidge of olive and it's actually really pretty working in with those shades also. But I've used both of these palettes a whole heck of a lot. I love, love, love them both. I wish I would have taken more pictures just of different things that I've done with them, but I see them as just great everyday color schemes, you know? Sometimes I get palettes and I think, you know, I really like this palette, but I'm really only going to be drawn to it for this certain kind of look, or I think, you know, it might be a little gimmicky. Not every palette is that classic, I could wear it any day and feel completely comfortable in it kind of palette. These all turn out to be that way, these in this line. I love them. And so then it's Christmas time, and I know I showed you my birthday is 2 days after Christmas, so they kind of become one and the same, but I did a big Sephora haul for my birthday, and on Christmas I knew Bub was doing something for me involving like all the pictures we'd had taken. We'd recently had family pictures and he got a bunch of them printed and framed and that was neat, but he was like, is there anything else you want? And honest to God, I asked for the last two Catrice palettes that I didn't already have. So we have Badass Bae and we got Insta Bae. And it continues, my friends, like this one. The Badass palette is going to be your ultimate warm palette. Again, no duds in here, no problem shades. Like, everything is smooth. This one goes very warm, as you can tell, like warm reddish shades, kind of terracotta, orangey reds, deep berry, some dirty bronze type shades, and nice dark brown in here. You'll notice that in addition to the really nice quality in these palettes, something I love so much is how they pay attention to the balance of light and dark and the balance of matte and shimmer. So you really do feel like you've got that palette you can grab for and it's everything you need. Then we got Insta Bae, and this one has probably the most like playful textures in it if you want to go there. We do have some really smooth shimmers kind of around the perimeter, except this one. This is the only shade where I'm like, you know, you kind of got to watch that one. It can be a little flaky, even if you pop it on with your finger, like it wants to flake out just a little bit. But even this shade, this gold, I used this one recently in a look, incredibly smooth. The one right next to it that's kind of pulling a Huda vibe there with the speckled quality, beautifully smooth shimmer, okay? And this one goes really, really dark, has a nice, nice deep shade, some really good basics in there as well to pop in the crease. And then even like this reddish color is pretty in the crease as well. And I may have buried the lead a bit here, but I use this for absolutely everything on my face outside of my foundation and my lip color and my mascara. Yes. So I was playing around over the weekend and I realized how truly versatile this one is. I'm like, you know, that kind of looks like a nice basic contour contour shade. So I tried it and it worked. And then I thought that shade looks like a pretty blush. And actually this shade is even a pretty blush. This, a little matte brightening setting powder maybe. I see both of these shades in my brows, certainly an eyeliner here. And then of course the eyeshadow look and a highlight too. This is a great pretty highlight on the skin. So it's just wild when you start looking at things that way and you see like how much further the product can be stretched. I love doing that. Some of the palettes that have done that for me in the past, like I think about that little one from Too Faced, that Tickled Peach palette. And really, if the brand would have marketed that as more than it was, like I think it could have been absolutely like big scale iconic. You know, I think it was a popular product. It had great reviews, but like I wish brands would realize you actually put everything in here. So it's crazy how this one, which I might have been a little bit more questionable about than all the rest at the start, this one actually has even more full face versatility, which the palettes, you know, they don't even claim to do that. So while we're on this one, I will walk you through actually how I took it and made it a full face thing. What I did first, I used this today, this Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. For concealer, I'm wearing my Dermablend concealer. And yeah, then we just bounce right into this. I actually went a little bit out of order for some reason and I went straight to contour. So I used the shade called Facetune and I used that lightly with my same like puffy kind of 107 brush. Trying to make the point of saying here I didn't downsize my brushes just because these are smaller pans. I just carefully went into it and I used that around my forehead. I also very easily contoured my cheekbones and under the jawline with that. Then I did go to my matte cream shade and I gently blotted that on the under eye area. Keep in mind, these shades will have like a little higher pigmentation maybe than some other face powders that you use. So just use them lightly, little at a time, but that was beautifully brightening there. And then we are thinking about blush. And I used the shade called Blogger because I do kind of love the neutral but slightly rosy quality in that. So I use that as my blush. And then I think we do come back and we add a little bit of the shade called Filter too. But next up we bring in a highlight. I go to EOTD right down here. This is our light shade with shimmer that's not quite as flaky as the one up top. This one is smoother and I very easily just pop that champagne shimmer on top of the cheeks and anywhere else on the face, Cupid's bow, you name it. After applying a little bit of setting mist, we go to the brows. And I feel like both of my matte browns, both the one up top that's a little more cool and lighter, that can work in my brows kind of on the innermost part, and then I deepen a little bit more toward the outside and I go to the one called Dupe. So just work those through with an angled brush. I did end up actually setting the brows with some of my e.l.f. Brow Wow just to give it a little more hold. But as far as the color and like the coverage of color in my brows, it was very easily taken care of with these powders. And if you want to create a really long lasting look, you could swipe a brow wax through first and then top them with the powders. But I just thought that was fantastic. At some point in the video, I know I popped on Filter, the reddish shade, for a little bit of rosy blush. And then gosh, what's next? We moved on to the eye look. Today, I wanted to do just a really classic matte eye with this palette, like just my most classic eye, because I knew I would have some pictures to show you of some bolder looks with this. So for today, I just took the shade Facetune, again, our classic, cool, deep but not too deep matte brown, and I put that in the crease, and then I deepened it up a little bit with a dark warm brown up in the corner called Glam. Gorgeous shade here. This has some red in it, just a little bit, and I blended that into the crease as well and used my matte cream called Repost as my highlight. Then I took my ultimate deepest, darkest brown called Dupe, again, that dark brown I used in my brows, and I patted that on the outer part of my lid and also worked that up into the crease a little bit. Sometimes it can help to take a slightly smaller crease brush then and blend over and make sure that that really is worked into the depths of your crease. And then I thought it was absolutely beautiful when I just took the matte shade Repost again on the inner part of the lid, and it leaves the eyes kind of brightened and awakened. I also chose to take Facetune, our started out crease color, and I used that for some very gentle definition on the lower lash line. Then I nearly forgot that I was going to use this for eyeliner as well. So to pull this off, I would just dampen an angled brush or whatever kind of eyeliner brush you want to use. You could even dampen a smudge brush if you want a little bit thicker line. But I just went into, again, my darkest shade here, Dupe, and I went along like the outer part of my upper lash line. You know, that just gives me a little bit more of a look of thickness along the lash line. And then I'm all set to just finish the look with my mascara. Today I am wearing my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, and my lip is the Sheer Matte Liquid Lip from e.l.f. in Nude Rose. And I just couldn't be happier with the look. I couldn't be more more impressed that one palette was able to pull it off, but that's just the icing on the cake, really, because these are just all in all great eyeshadow palettes. It was kind of funny and fun that this was able to pull off so many other functions, but I love each and every one of these. If I were to pick a favorite, you know, the Insta Bae is definitely the most versatile, but I still kind of keep coming back to Basic Bae. This was the first one I ever got. Basic just really is everything you need for a classic, beautiful eye look. You might even find a little matte setting powder in here. You might find a face highlight. For sure, there's actually a really pretty couple of face highlights there, but I just find it so easy to use, and it will never turn out a look that's like a problem in any way. You know, it's easy, it's creamy, it's blendable. It can no doubt hang with any high-end palette. This is kind of like your no-fail pick. When we get to either self-made or badass, I mean, you know what color scheme you gravitate toward. Do you like the plums and berries? This one is a lot of fun, actually, and it does have some pretty shimmers that can take you in some different directions. Like, they're not off the charts shimmery, but it actually kind of makes them a little more versatile, because we do have our nice deep dark matte plum in there as well, a deep burgundy, but these can be fun either crease colors, kind of on the edge type colors, sheared out type shades. There's a pink in here that can make it instantly an intensely berry look, so I do love that. But then also for warmth, the thing I like about this one, there are a lot of warm palettes that incorporate maybe a bit more orange, yellow spectrum shades, and this one keeps it a little more rusty, a little more red, but then with some more safe or basic neutrals like the bronzy shades in here as well. And this shade up here called Savage, this is a really pretty texture that is not really in all the palettes, but it's like a super soft pearl, like hint of glow, just a hint of glow. I thought that was a really interesting shade. The quality is undeniable. If you like warm, I think you'd go for that. But again, the Insta Bae, the biggest surprise, you know, this one is versatile. It can give you some absolutely like glowing, shimmery lids if you want to have that, but then you also have all these other options. You know, you can get the most classic eye like I did today and also use it full face style. So I just wanted to give these palettes a shout out because I think they are impeccable quality, with maybe one shade exception, that one flaky shade that I said was in the Insta Bae palette, but I can still use it. You know, they're just really, really strong, and I hope they don't like go doing away with these anytime soon. I know that can be how it works. You fall in love with something. I don't think I was real early to the party on these. Like, I really think they've been around a while by the time I stumbled across them. I hope they're not going anywhere anytime soon, but they are really, really nice quality palettes. 12 shades, super manageable size. You've got the mirror in there as well. Actual price on these is $15. I guess I had it in my head like they're not very expensive. You know, they're less than a high-end palette would be, and even maybe $5 less than some drugstore brands are trying to charge for palettes these days. You know, we are seeing some $20 drugstore palettes, so $15, you cannot go wrong. I mean, they should honestly, here's what they should do: sell these as a little wardrobe, you know, put them together as a boxed set and make it be some kind of gift or whatever. Again, what's special about them, they're wearable for all occasions. You pop one open and you feel like, okay, I could wear this any day. You're not getting any wild curveballs out of these, but you are getting kind of a distinct color scheme, like your basics, your plums, your warm shades, or I would say kind of like basic, but with a few more fun shimmers. I love them so much. I would love to hear your feedback if you've tried any of these in the comments section, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.